We're gonna be doing an offense only run for the high quota leaderboard, hopefully. We're doing this in version 40, where thumpers are super duper fast, and also because I want more practice in version 40, where I'll be doing more high quota runs and speed runs as well. We're doing offense because offense is the most dangerous of the free moons, it being home of the thumpers and the highest percentage spawn chance for coil heads, or of the free moons at least. Rend in version 40 has an insane coil head spawn rate, but we'll talk about that later. We're gonna do offense only. In order for me to do a run that qualifies for the high quota leaderboard, I'll have to complete at least 7 quotas solo, so hopefully we get that far. Last time I did an offense only run was for my Eclipse only series way back in the day. Eclipse only offense was one of my best performing videos, even though I wasn't one of the best performing employees. I'm pretty sure I spent most of that video trying to complete the first quota, and I don't even entirely remember if I did it or not. So if anyone's watched that video, let me know. But we're gonna try to at least do better than that. It is gonna be a bit easier than that run though, because it's not gonna be a Eclipse only run, it's just an offense only run. Hopefully we do better than 1 quota. Okay, that's my YouTube intro, by the way. So we're gonna go offense only. Midnight only or no? You know what? I probably should. Well, I probably should do midnight only. I'm down to do midnight only. I think that's. I almost forgot about that. Let's do it. Let's do midnight only. It makes sense. I think we'll buy a shovel right away because I plan on scrapping. I'm gonna be doing some scrapping here. There's no point in doing a land leave type run, and I think I'm gonna have to stay late anyway to get enough scrap for the high quota. To complete 7 quotas, I need to average around 230 scrap per day. I can probably get Lethal Tracker going right now, actually. Lethal Tracker. While I buy this shovel. I mean, there's no real rush right now. Wait, I don't need Life Split anymore. I can close this. Make sure I don't... Oh wow, there's actually water here. Sometimes offense flooded doesn't actually work. Font color, change the background color. Turn on Lethal Tracker. Perfect. Just remembered you saying it in your YouTube video today. I'm glad someone remembered, because I clearly didn't. So yeah, we'll do it that way. We're gonna check main first, so I can play fire exit later. Because fire exit's much safer. I can just offense jump my way to safety, or fire exit jump my way to safety later on. Another benefit to down patching as well. Current patch Lethal Company does not have the offense fire exit jump anymore. I don't think either version works. Not even the scaffolding one. If the scaffolding one works, let me know. But as far as I know, neither of them are in the game anymore, which is big unfortunate. You know, like, how are we even supposed to play these moons or want to play them when the things that made them a bit more playable are just taken out? But, you know, the point of Lethal Company isn't to be a high-performing employee. The point of Lethal Company is for working for this company is kind of a pointless and deadly endeavor that's not fair, you know? That's kind of always been the lore, and the changes to the game have been reflecting that as well. It does for the rock, but it's a ball ache. Sounds like it's not even worth it. Just get a ladder, I guess. Which is supposed to be the intended way to do it, I guess. Got a lot of landmines. I might do an early... what's it called? Return here. Just because it's flooded, and because I can spend more time at the fire exit instead. I do want the key, though. I do want the key because I might reach a locked door at the fire exit. Oh, I thought I saw something down there. So we'll take this first. Actually, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do it like this. We're gonna bring everything here and drop it here. Then we'll go back. So we don't have to go all the way back up and around. Takes like 2 minutes just... Okay, yeah. By the time you're up there, it's gonna be time to leave. Yeah, Zeekerss changed a lot of stuff in version 64. Particularly slope physics that allowed for the fire exit offense jump and the Val fire exit jump to be a thing. So those are not things anymore. It's really sad. You know, part of what helped make Lethal Company playable are, you know, those little things that you find in the game, but I guess, you know, it's not supposed to be enjoyable. I was you know, talking like this, I was watching Bread's guide on how to deal with the Maneater. I think he released it like yesterday or something, updated ways to deal with the Maneater. And I saw like a lot of comments were saying like Zeekerss probably watches all your videos to see what he should patch out next. And I thought that was pretty funny. Shout out Zeekerss if you watch our videos, I guess. I mean, in Zeekerss' defense, and like as far as like the Maneater exploits that Bread was showing, some of those I guess should be patched out, but I mean like, dude. But I'm glad that there are viable ways to deal with the Maneater right now. So if the Maneater is giving you trouble, go watch Bread's video. They're like some pretty easy to repeat ways to deal with it. Is there any way to get to the fire exit? Yeah, you can do a extension ladder right there, which is kind of like the original way to get up. You can jetpack up here. And oh, and you can jump from the autopilot ship upon landing onto the pipe. If Zeekerss ever takes that part out, where you can jump onto the pipe from the ship, that's actually gonna be evil. Like, just let us do that one at least. Let us have that one. Okay, well, no matter what spawns here, I'm gonna be okay. I'm running with this thing, by the way. Oh, it is a thumper. I think. I don't care about the carry weight. I'm gonna be here till midnight, so I'm gonna be safe. I hate the mine shafts. I'm not a big fan of them either. I tried to like it. So, you know, because especially since it's something that the community has been asking for so long, you know, it's like one of the most requested things ever. We've wanted a new interior, like official interior, for so long, and then the moment it drops, everyone hates it, for the most part. That's gotta suck too, for Zeekerss specifically, to work as hard on like on an interior like that, only for it to be negatively received. Especially, you know, with back-to-back backlash, with followed by the Kidnapper Fox. I can only imagine that that negative reception is part of like his personal burnout with the game. Okay, well, if something dangerous spawns here, I'm cooked. I can't believe that worked. Oh shit. No, you gotta be shitting me. I can't believe I did that twice. Just jump on the rail, Austin. Holy shit. Okay, let's restart. What's Bread's YouTube? It's a call me Bread. Or if you look up Bread Lethal Company, it'll come up. So, okay, my defense, the slope physics difference between version 40 and version 64 makes it harder for you to jump on the rail. And that is absolute copium. That's actually just not true. That's misinformation. I'm sorry you had to see that, Cosmo. Lethal Company isn't no fun. It's just not conducive to like the high performance gameplay that like high quota gamers and speedrunners have come to enjoy the game for. Casual perspective, like if you're just trying to play with your friends for like an hour or two, it's perfectly still fun. You know, like if you're still playing it for the original appeal of Lethal Company, which is the group horror comedy experience where none of you really know what you're doing and are punished severely for it, Lethal Company is still a fantastic game in that regard. You know, but those aren't the people that are playing the game 24/7. But I get, you know, I guess it's not supposed to be something you play 24/7. It's not an incorrect move to tailor your game for a casual player base, especially when most of your player base is casual. That's just a general rule of thumb, not exclusive to like balancing games, but also a lot of things, you know. It's true for being a content creator as well. Like you make content that, well, if you want to grow as a content creator, you make videos on topics that will reach a larger audience, the largest audience possible, really. That's how you grow. When you run a food business, you don't try to go too deep, like too exquisite with your food. You kind of just have to make what sells for the most part, unless you have, you know, money and resources to burn to build or whatever. Gotta keep like the people who don't have the expertise in mind, because that's gonna be most of your player base, audience, etc., no matter what you do. Which sounds counterintuitive, like, you know, there's that advice of niching down and finding like the smaller community and being the only person to look for. But you have to do both. Because if you don't have enough of an audience to reach, then you're not gonna grow, really. The way you grow is by doing the general audience stuff, and then I don't know. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, it's like from a business standpoint, it makes absolute sense to cater to the casual player base and just say it and just flip the bird to the competitive scene. Nintendo did the same thing with Smash Brothers, you know, and they're doing quite alright. And you know, we like people who are more into like the high performance Lethal Company, we have down patching, we have mods. First, pretty silly to hate mine shafts. I mean, there's only 3 interiors, you know. People are gonna have an order of things they like or don't like. Mineshaft is new, so like it has that the unfamiliarity tied to it. People hated mansions until we learned to love it. But it seems to be like the cool thing to hate on Lethal Company right now. So I don't think mineshafts are gonna get us the same amount of love. What's the FF on the title? It's a link to the Forsaken Frontiers Steam page, because I am an unashamed or shameless Forsaken Frontiers advocate, as I should be. Like, it's the game I'm most excited for, you know, and I want as many people to play it as possible. It's actually a good game, you know. It somehow made the part that I like about Lethal Company even more fun, while pulling aspects from different games that I enjoyed that I wish were in different games. Like, from a spectator standpoint, it might not seem crazy, but the looting in that game is so satisfying, and I think everyone will understand why that is once it's in their hands on October 21st. I don't think I've had such an like satisfying looting experience in any game until then, you know. Oh yeah, so I didn't finish reading Sky's comment. It's about disliking unfamiliar stuff, exactly. That's why when Mineshaft first came out, I was giving it a real shot first before, you know, giving a final verdict. Seekers tried doing a lot of cool stuff with it. You know, like with the elevator in the main entrance. The underwater mechanic, you know. It has the most new things going for it. Unfortunately, you get pincered by enemies, but it is what it is. People really dislike the cruiser at first too. That one, I was more inclined to like first, before dislike. Especially when it comes to like store items. People thought the jetpack sucked, you know? People thought the jetpack was absolute garbage and not worth it. And I was like, there's no way that it's actually garbage. And, you know, then people started using jetpacks. And then people said TZP was useless. And I also was not inclined to believe that. And then high quota people started using TZPs to run two-handed items. Company Cruiser, I've never believed for a single second that it was useless. All it needed was a bit more testing from, you know, the high-performing employees to make it useful. And now it's kind of crucial for V56 plus high quota runs. And people are be flying that thing kind of consistently too. Heard a mansion to Mineshaft and only come into the game since the Mineshaft was there. I think Mineshaft is most people's favorite. It's also the easiest to navigate, you know, you have the door strats, you'll never, like if you know the tricks on how to navigate Mansion, you'll never ever actually get lost. And you can always find main entrance. The other two interiors don't really have that. It's also easiest on the eyes too. I personally prefer Factory, but only because I play the most on Factory. I don't really play too much on the moons that have the mansion interior. You know, a lot of my runs play on the free moons. And that's kind of intentional. Not because I dislike mansion or anything. It's just that the moons that have mansion are very dangerous with solo. And you know, there's so much to do on the free moons of the solo. Is it the best way to play Lethal Company solo? I don't know, that's personal preference really, and I'm just kind of expressing my personal preference by playing the way that I do. Do not take my stuff. Do not take my stuff. I think I can grab that engine in the back and call it a day, because it's gonna be pretty close to the end here. Oh, where am I going? What does TZP do? It gives you a speed boost and reduces how much stamina you use also. Where did that Thumper go? Did he not see me? Hello? The Thumper didn't see me. So what people will do, like especially when you have a lot of money, you buy a bunch of TZP, and you have someone jetpacking to bring the single items back, and you have people TZPing to bring the two-handed items back. I think I just have to go back now, honestly. Oh, wait. I'm definitely taking your shit. What? I'm less inclined to take your shit now. Wait, but it's also day one. I'm gonna take your shit. You have a clown. Wait. Let's bring you over here. Oh god. Bro, die, bro, die, bro, die. What the hell? Oh wait, I actually just have to go back now. I can't even afford to get that. What the fuck was that? Invincible hoarding bug? Oh, I'm so lost. Anyone want to tell me why that hoarding bug wasn't dying? Like, what was that? Much faster at looting mansion? I do think that factory is takes a bit of luck on the spawn. I don't know why I wasn't hitting that hoarding bug though. That's crazy. As soon as I put on the hat and the lethal tracker, I'm just throwing. I swear I hit him like 6 times. Can't say that was a fantastic way to go about that. The cost of greed, huh? I lost the run because I wanted a clown horn and an engine. I mean, it's day 1, so I might as well go for it. This is what the people wanted. They wanted me to stop land leaving. They want me to die on day 1. They want me to die on Quota 1. Made the jump for proof of concept. There's nothing I can really do in the time waiting for this shovel. I might as well. Also to test to see if I get fall damage from that. Also. Kind of, you know, little fun facts that we can figure out along the way. That'll be useful for later, actually, when I do a late transfer. At some point. Oh, turret, hello. Wait, are you facing turret? Oh, well, you're facing me now. Left hug. When offense only first quota is harder than 10 quota speedrunning. Oh. Hold on. I will just take the stuff from main over to the fire exit then, if that's how it's gonna be. No reason to not just play fire if it's gonna be this close. Wait, am I dumb? I guess that 10 or the speed run took all the energy out of me because we're starting to lose brain cells or brain capacity, it seems. I somehow also skipped over the bottles. How's that even possible? So many keys. Unless a hoarding bug got me somehow. It's possible that a hoarding bug already stole my stuff. Oh no, it's right there. It's on the other side of this slime. I'm gonna get scaffolded again. Dude, I don't need more keys. I guess we'll wait for the slime. More keys than loot. No, right? Yeah, because I don't make this jump over the slime because of this ceiling, so I'm kind of SOL here. But at least we can deal with this slime for the rest of the run in a little bit. I'd restart. I mean, we're not on a speed run here, so I think it's okay. If I was on a speed run, this would for sure be a restart. That's not so bad yet. Well, at least I'll never have to worry about a locked door ever. Probably. What I will have to worry about is turret in the dark. Cause I already saw one turret, and where there's one turret, there's bound to be more. Oh, another tattered metal sheet. Wow, the loot on offense is so worth it. I love offense. I don't know why people don't go here. Barely accessible fire exit. Highest spawn chance for Thumper. Insane coilhead spawns. Mine shaft. He's up the woozah. Okay, oh, hello. He didn't even see me. Okay, how about we just lock one in, yeah? Let's survive a day for once. We could... Let's see what it looks like when we actually bring loot home. That might be cool. What do you guys think? Let's make sure we don't die to time this time. Let's get off of a flooded offense. It's 26. Especially since I'm gonna need time to transfer in the flood. I think what I do is I jump onto the ship with the two-handed item, because I'm not entirely sure how to bring a two-handed item onto the ship in flooded offense. Is the jetpack not available in version 40? It's available. It's it costs 700 and it's basically guaranteed damage. I mean, I'm on Quota 1 though, so I can't afford one yet. When I can't afford one though, I will be getting a jetpack. Just to help speed things up. Yeah, like there, you'll see what I mean if I do get a jetpack here, but there was a weird bug with the jetpack prior to like version 50 or something, where depending on how you landed, you stored up fall damage on your jetpack. So most of the time when you take off with the jetpack, you will take damage. So a lot of being able to use a jetpack in earlier versions is like doing literal damage control to make sure that you didn't die while using it. Kind of silly, but it's what separated people who knew how to use a jetpack and people who didn't. It looks like I'm not bringing any keys. I should just drop them anyway, just in case. I almost fell without getting these. Oh shit. Does the ladder bug work? Which one? There's a lot of ladder bugs. How's it going, Jay? We just completed a version 40 high quota run. I completed 8 quotas for a new personal best, and now we're doing an offense only version 40 run. This is probably going to be the first time I actually make it past the first day, so I'm a little stoked about that. Crazy that there's no outdoor enemies here, but we'll take it. Oh yeah, you can still cancel stored damage with the ladder, yeah. The damage isn't the one that ever killed me. The one that would kill me is the fuel bug, where like if you drop the jetpack while using it, it'll still deplete fuel even when you're not using it, which isn't a bug I learned how to play around until much later on. But both of those bugs are patched out of current version Lethal Company, so it's not a struggle that many players have dealt with. I'm leaving, by the way. It's already midnight for the most part. Unpatched coil heads. Yeah, I mean, I felt like the coil head nerfs was cool, but what do you guys think? Do you guys think the coil head nerf was necessary? I mean, it's appreciated, I guess. But I would trade back to old coil heads to get my parkours back every time, 100% of the time. I guess I'm gonna play fire exit still, huh? I think it's just better to play fire exit and play deep. Okay, I'm playing main. I have a pivot, and I'm pivoting for a reason. Main entrance is gonna be less safe later on in the day, so I might as well go for a quick transfer at main before going fire exit. Has nothing to do with the fact that I intentionally missed that jump. What was the nerf about? Coil heads now deactivate after a certain period of time, and I think they also de-aggro from you or something, instead of just being permanently oppressive. Dude, this pipe almost killed me. Actually, it probably killed me on the way back. If I die because I decided to go to this dead end, I'm uninstalling. Okay. Don't have to uninstall. Not yet, anyway. I'm like triggered by stuff that's up right above jumps, because I get killed by scaffolding all the time in Lethal Company. I started getting killed by scaffolding in Forsaken Frontiers also. Just can't escape that. Gotta look up before you jump, I guess. Normally it's look down, but nope, you gotta look up also. Speaking of looking up, we have a yield sign. Keep your head up, literally. Also, I don't know if it's still current patch or if it's been patched out, but new coil heads, you can just look straight down and they will never hit you. Because in current patch Lethal Company, you can look straight down. Zeekerss finally let us look all the way down. But if you do that, you know, coil heads will never hit you for some reason. I guess it counts as being in their vision. You know, I feel like I've gotten a lot of items up on that spot lately, but most of the time I don't get anything there. We have to keep in mind though that we're playing in it, that I've also been finding a lot of stuff in the Bracken rooms, which just also isn't a thing, so this has just been a pretty peculiar run in general. Let's bring this up outside. Okay, I guess progress is only this way. Or not, because there was nothing this way, right? Oh, downstairs. Okay, I didn't die this time. Holy. One of 4 thumpers down. I'll have to get a second one immediately. Is that a stop sign? Oh no, it's a landmine. So many landmines. Oh hey, imagine if I had a key. Oh, I do have a key. I'm tripping. Ads coming in 1 minute, by the way. I should see if I can change it to the interval that Roy recommended. I just don't remember what the interval was. I think it was 1 minute of ads every 30 minutes or something. It was a second thumper. I wasn't tripping. What gamma do I play on? Definitely an increased gamma. I just don't entirely remember. I kind of want him to see me before proceeding. Okay, I'm gonna be a bit more active then. Surely. Might have lost him actually. He's gonna be real fast though. Yeah. Jesus, dude. Oh, and there's a slime now. Okay. Well then. Oh, there's a second one. Yeah, see how fast that thing is, dude? Imagine not rail cheesing that. Yeah, thumpers used to be fast. There's the fourth one. I think if I kill him, no more thumpers. He aggroed on me. Pretty sure, yeah. Max 4 thumpers, so I think we're good now. Oh, imagine if I died there. Holy crap. Dude, Austin, please. I don't think I need the shovel anymore then. Four thumpers down. Dude. Okay. I'm pretty sure fire exit was over this way, right? Yeah. Now the only real danger is coil heads. And also time. I'm not sure what time is right now, but we're gonna find out. Oh my god, I don't have enough time. I have to just start going. I did spend a lot of time in there, to be fair. Do I get 2 inventories? I am not entirely sure. I don't think so. I can just buy another shovel. I'm not too worried about the dogs. Alright, we're good. That was probably max that I could have brought. I think the shovel would have made me too slow. But damn. I mean, at least we survived, I guess. I don't even remember what I got on day 1. I'm not even gonna use lethal tracker because I have no idea. I forgot I was even using it. I hate this move. That's why I'm here. You know, if you do the things that people don't like, it tends to do well for you too. I think I'm gonna... Okay, well. I'm positioned to play for fire exit first this time, so we're gonna play fire exit first this time. I didn't get my shovel, so now we're going into offense. Version 40 offense with no shovel. I could just play the rail cheese game. Or I can go back early and get my shovel as well. We'll see. We'll see how we decide to play this. Offense is a fun casual moon, I guess. But for like high quota purposes or speedrunning purposes, there's no real reason to go here. But that's the reason why I came up with the Iron Man challenge, right? Because you can say that about almost every moon in the game. There's no reason to go to most of them if your goal is to be a high-performing employee. Which is why I made it a requirement in the Iron Man challenge to go to every moon. Like the only way some people would ever play the other one. But now there's a single moon high quota, so there is some incentive to play like the least popular moons now for like, you know, the high performing community. Just kind of vary things up. While still like, you know, gunning for spots on the leaderboard. What insane loot, by the way. 2 tattered metal sheets and I think now that I'm going this deep, we're gonna go get our shovel and go main. I'm asking to die here over like what, 70 crap. That doesn't seem worth it to me. Gotta dip out almost 1 AM here for sure, buddy broiler. Thanks for tuning in. Glad you were here for my new personal best run. And have a good night as well. This will probably be the last of the Lethal Company for the stream anyway. I haven't decided if I'm gonna continue after this yet. But I do have some like editing to do as well. Might catch up on that. Get this queued up and go from there. We're doing okay for this offense run though. I mean, we're about to finish the first quota after getting stuck on day 1 a few times. Pretty promising. I might just commit to no shovel on this day and then get the shovel on... Well, it's midnight. It's a midnight run. Ah, whatever. Ah, whatever. We're not making decisions. Can I afford not bringing a key? I'm gonna not bring a key. I guess I could have just dropped the key over at main instead. We're gonna see what happens when we do a late return on offense from main. I mean, I'm usually not really worried in this version, other than worms. Funniest memory about Lethal Company that comes first. That comes to mind first. I'd say a lot of the... I'd say a lot of times where I really thought Lethal Company was funny was when I first started playing the game and was learning it with my original friend group that I played the game with. You know, back when I played this game more casually, you know, I'd still say that I play this game casually, but casual Lethal Company nowadays is a bit different than what it used to be when it first came out. And now I'm punished for not bringing that key. There's not a lot that can match the charm of experiencing a lot of Lethal Company for the first time. So the funniest moments in Lethal Company for me, aren't the ones that... Oh, wow, what a room. Holy crap. Are the ones that happened earlier on in my Lethal Company journey. One good one was the first time I played Brutal Company, and we experienced the spontaneous combustion event for the first time. That was I think that was the very first Lethal Company clip I ever uploaded. And my reaction to spontaneous combustion wasn't that it was unfair and unplayable, but I wanted a spontaneous combustion only mod that would let me practice playing in that game mode. The one that spawns landmines under your feet everywhere. I guess the more recent funny was in one of my high quota runs, I think. Or in the Hardcore Iron Man with Crew Inc. I went back for a rubber ducky at fire exit on Artifice with a jetpack, and I said, imagine if I die coming back for this rubber ducky, and as soon as I step out the door, I get eaten by an eyeless dog. I guess that can be funny too. But you know, that doesn't get as much of a laugh out of me nowadays. Oh. Morning bug. 409. Let's just get our stuff here. Make sure we get a safe transfer. This is decent. This is a decent return for offense, I feel. Nice and easy one. Did I eat well today? I ate breakfast, which is a late breakfast because I wake up late. Maybe like around 3 hours, or actually right before stream, so around 3-4 hours ago. I'd say it was a pretty good meal. I'll likely eat again after a stream. So stream will probably end. I'll probably end stream after Lethal Company instead of streaming something else after, for the purposes of eating. I was considering playing some Dead by Daylight after. But you know, I have a lot of footage to edit, you know. I have some, I mean, all the Forsaken Frontiers playtest stuff. I want to make some videos before launch. I have a playthrough of Pilgrim and Kletka that I haven't edited yet. If anyone wants a quick synopsis on those. I think Pilgrim is still not very good, even with the addition of weapons. And Kletka is cool, but I think I'm very surprised that it has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam in its current state. I felt like it got kind of repetitive at some point. But the music's fire. And the concept is cool. I want to see where the finished product goes. What am I going to eat after this stream? I'm going to see what's in the fridge and then make something, most likely. I know I have some Costco chicken and a bunch of veggies in there. Like chicken and broccoli or chicken kimchi. I also prepped a bunch of onions and bell peppers and garlic just to add to things. Dang, I was about to leave right away. I forgot it's midnight only challenge. But I mean, what else can I do before midnight, really? Okay, don't tell on me, guys, because I was just gonna wait until midnight. I'm gonna leave. The point of playing midnight only is that I stay long enough. Everyone who stays on YouTube to this point can roast me for it. But we're gonna get a quota in. 269. Two hours of your shift left. Cool that you can watch Twitch on during your shift. Quota 2 for once, right? 143? Really? No, 44, 53. I can definitely find a way to get to 130 with this. $97, so I need 33 somehow. I mean, there's a 34. 34 toy cube, good enough.
We value your commitment.
I don't think I buy anything because I already have the shovel, so. I think what we do, I think we have to play main first. Otherwise, I think I'm gonna have more days like that where I kind of don't play, or I come back too early. Whereas fire exit, I can play all the way down to the wire and have it be optimal that way. I mean, things will change once I get the jetpack too, so. But I don't have the jetpack yet. I think the only way I wouldn't go to main first is if it's Eclipse offense, in which case I'll probably just play fire exit. But I haven't had Eclipse offense yet. I see. I mean, it's kind of cool to have something when you're to kill some time too. I used to have a similar experience when I worked at the courthouses. I used to do criminal background checks, and I used to have to wait like half hour to an hour sometimes to get served. So I had a lot of time to just kill like during work, and then whenever it was time for me to get helped or served, then I would just put whatever I was doing on hold and get back to work. This is a crazy rock, by the way. $46. There is loot. There's also 2 landmines guarding it. Do I miss being a chef? Sometimes. I don't miss being on call all the time. I miss having access to crazy ingredients for cheap or free. But I very much like being responsible for my own schedule and being able to say no to things. Now, I don't think I make the best use of my time all the time. I think I'm pretty lazy for what I could be doing, but part of the reason why I'm locking in and doing the Lethal Company streams more and have the game plan I have moving forward is because I don't want to have to go back to the 9-to-5 life if I don't have to. Also, thanks for the follow, Resent. The thing about the chef life is that in order for me to progress farther than where I was, I would have to commit a lot harder, I guess. And I think the potential for growth career-wise, the potential is a lot higher as someone who prefers working by himself as a content creator, YouTuber, versus a chef. Because to grow a food business, you know, you can only go so far solo. And it's hard to find a team of people that are really dedicated to the food life like that. Who are down for the grind without too much pay. Because money in food is not very good. Unless you're working for tips. Would I open my own restaurant? I don't want to manage a team. I was the lead chef or head chef at my last position, and we had a pretty small operation, and I did not like being the lead for that. It's like when you run a food business, or when you really run any business, you know, kind of have to be 110% about whatever it is you're doing, because it's not as fun as it sounds. You kind of have to, like, I don't know. I like the food aspect of being able to just kind of mess around in the kitchen, experiment, and kind of put together meals that I think are creative and fun and can introduce my friends to new things. But that's not a great business model. It's not very profitable. And I also don't want to make a business off of charging my friends money or taking my friends' money. Like in food, I'd rather just feed people without having to worry about the money aspect. And when you run a food business, you can't just be feeding people for free all the time. I also think like the specific food business I was in, it was kind of too close to friends and family. Like it was mostly friends and family that were part of the business. And you know, there's that saying of don't do business with like friends and relatives and stuff, which isn't always true, you know, like it's possible, but it wasn't ideal in this particular case, at least with me at the head of it. Feeding mukbangers, but then it's like how does that translate to sales too? I think my ideal culinary career would be to just be a content chef, where I just kind of record myself making food. But that's a lot of work, and it's also expensive. I mean, anything that's worth doing is going to be a lot of work. But rather than like trying to build a food brand, I'd rather just kind of build the gaming one. The gaming one's a lot more low risk. Oh. I also have some friends that are like private chefs for a living too. And I don't think I'd want to do that either. I'd rather just cook for myself and my friends and somehow make a living doing that. But I need a lot more money first. Being a gaming content creator, I just boot up a video game, start playing, hit the record button. Everything I need for the YouTube video is right here without leaving my space. No. Only costs me my internet and my time, which is stuff that I'm going to be paying for anyway. Being a gaming content creator is way more low cost. I wouldn't even say it's more saturated. There's probably more gaming content creators than there are food content creators, you know? That's just true, but building up on a point that I was talking about in the last run, there's no such thing as an oversaturated online market. And it's because just how big of an online audience there actually is for things. Doesn't mean that there won't be competition, but it's just not a thing that people won't have a chance. We are on second quota right now of this run. We had a rough time getting out of day one on offense, but ever since then we've kind of just been chilling. I think a big indicator that the food, well, also like when I was a bit more into food, a lot more into food, it was hard for me to film at my old place because I had a lot of roommates and had a lot of pets, and the kitchen was always occupied. Hard to film really. And my kitchen was also like my workplace was also an hour away from where I was living, so kind of hard to really make the filming part work. I did give it a shot though, and really the bigger thing was that I didn't enjoy the food content workflow as much as the gaming one. If you go to like, I think I still have some of my food reels up on my TikTok, and I used to have some on my Instagram. And I did film a few of my like tasting menu dinners, I've never edited them down. Like I'm just sitting on a bunch of footage. And it's just an effort that I guess I'm not willing to put in. Not yet anyway. The thing about visibility though is that like the way social media algorithms work, they help people who make good content. I see a lot of people complain about their content not being pushed on social media or whatever, but then when I go check out their content sucks. I'm not saying I make the best content by any means, but there are a handful of people that are complaining about their content not getting views when they're pushing out like not good stuff. Like no one just makes good content out the gate. Kind of, I think reps matter, studying matters, and there's all the tools out there for people to study what they need to make good content and stuff. Skill creates luck, yeah. Create your own opportunities and stuff. I also, well, I mean, this might not be true widespread, but at least among like my circles and stuff, there's people who try to grow on social media, but then they don't pick the right platforms to do it, or the right mediums too. I think a lot of people, what happens like nowadays, they make short form content, right? Because they're told that short form is the new wave and it's the best way to gain a following, to build an audience, etc. And that's likely true still. Like the numbers that you can pull if your short form content goes viral is insane. I've seen people go like jump into social media careers off of one short form video, you know. But the people I've seen try to emulate that, and which is the majority of people, they don't do their homework on what makes short form content really pop. They don't have an upload schedule that's conducive to growth, and they also kind of don't see the numbers for what they actually are, I guess. At least people, like, example, people in my generation, a lot of them, when they try to build a social media following, they try to build it on Instagram because it's generally the platform they have the most following on. But what happens is that, like, they get satisfied with the couple hundred engagements they get from people that are already following them and think it's good numbers, when it's literally just people that would have liked your stuff anyway, no matter what you posted. And you're not getting any new good following, and you're getting the dopamine of people seeing your stuff without getting any new eyes on it. And then eventually people wonder why they're not growing. It's because your content's not good, it's just your friends like you, you know? The other one is that people will post... the other one is that people don't post enough. They don't get enough reps in. Or they think like 2,000 or 10,000 views on a short form piece is good. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I will say though that the way I'm approaching things isn't very efficient. There are ways to... I'm fully aware that my approach isn't optimal for growth. But it's, I'll say like the past few months have kind of been an experimental period, kind of just gathering data, seeing how performance goes when I act the way I do. Because there comes a point where, like, if I really wanted to do it just for views, I don't know if I would like that grind either. It kind of feels not as genuine, I guess. Not that, you know, content has to be genuine. I remember listening to a podcast by, I think his name is Seth Godin, who's the guy who invented, or who created email marketing, which is crazy to think about. You know, the guy who invented email marketing is alive and well and out there sharing his advice. And he was asked about, like, how he keeps his content authentic or whatever. And it kind of stuck with me. He said that, like, authenticity in your content actually doesn't matter. What people are looking for is professionalism and consistency. And I kind of reflected on, like, what it means to be authentic. And usually when I think of authenticity, it means, like, an openness to share whatever it is that's on your mind. But if I was on here, like, sharing all of my grievances in life, I don't think that's good content. You know, people don't want to hear me complain about life or anything. They're here for, you know, a good, like a relaxing gaming background music or noise or whatever. They want to see some insight into solo Lethal Company gameplay. Hopefully they want to see Forsaken Frontiers stuff. But no one wants to really hear about my personal life. There might be a subsection of people that do. Or like, what if I just came on here and vented about all of my life problems every stream or every video? Or alternated that and, you know, like a more uppity, like, content voice. It's also nuanced, you know? Not like a one side, like, one shoe fits all type thing. Which is why I try not to get, like, too stuck on one strategy. I don't think being more personal is the same as authenticity in this context, though. Yeah, that's why it's like, sometimes I try not to go on these rants off the cuff, because they tend to not be as polished or well put together. But, you know, that's kind of where my mind brought me, or where my yapping brought me at this time, so I kind of just tried to roll with it. I will say, though, that, like, a big part of what I was trying to do at first, with what I was doing with Lethal Company, was I was trying to frame this in a way, like, what I do in a way, to make people believe that they could potentially do it themselves also. But I'm kind of less inclined for that now. You know, I feel like I haven't really pushed too many people into, you know, pursuing gaming content creation for themselves. Instead, most of what I hear is, like, people saying, like, don't make gaming a career or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Or I just hear a bunch of grievances. What the fuck? I think I'm leaving. Well, I mean, it's midnight. Well, whatever. I'm probably not gonna frame this as a midnight only challenge. This is probably just gonna be offense only at this point. I'm just glad he didn't aggro on me immediately. That could have went way differently, you know? I just don't remember how giant aggro works in this version entirely. I just know that it's insane, and that if you bring a giant to the yeah, see, like, he's already aggroed on me. What the f- Yeah, I'm not even getting that stun grenade. It's... Once a giant aggro's here, it's kind of over. Zeekers at one point made it so that giants leave the ship, but in version 40, if a giant is at the ship, it's just that's it. I would basically have to wait there until midnight. You wouldn't. I didn't grab a full inventory because I felt like he was gonna aggro on me, and I wanted to be able to make it back in time. Whatever. Enough content talk, let's just play Lethal Company. So I guess my approach now is just to, you know, play the game and enjoy playing the game and not preach so much about turning gaming into a career. I'll respect that people want it as a hobby and focus more on, you know, collaborating with the people who are already doing this, like, to a serious capacity, instead of trying to invite more people to join, like, this sphere, I guess. Because I think I'll be doing people a disservice by you know, running a declining channel while also saying, like, yo, everyone should still do this. When I myself am still early in my own journey too, like, I've still been doing this for, like, I mean, I've been making video game stuff as a hobby for a decent amount of time, but I've only been doing it professionally for, like, less than a year, you know, so what can I really say about the longevity or, like, what it takes to do content in the long term, you know? At least to a serious capacity. Let's get to that longevity first, and then worry about potentially helping people later. But I also take a lot less advice from people who aren't doing the thing for real. I appreciate when people try to give advice and stuff, but a lot of times when advice isn't based on personal experience, it's kind of like, how much am I supposed to really listen to it? 83 is brutal, yeah, but it's not impossible to get around. 7 quota is not as difficult as 10 quota. I can always get bailed out pretty fast. I probably won't get as big of a bailout on offense compared to Titan. Okay. Should probably buy a shovel, actually. But the fact that I only have to get 230 is pretty doable. I gotta stop getting rocks like these, though. I'm forced to go all the way around like this, which isn't ideal. Mouse wheel doesn't work half the time. Inventory hotkey mod isn't legal. Ah. Fair enough. You can't rebind it, huh? Well, I guess in version 40 you can't rebind anything in-game, at least. You have to be able to rebind your keys outside of the game. But it's kind of rare to rebind scroll wheel. Yeah, and just like the advice about authenticity too, you know, advice on specific actions that each creator or whatever, each person should take really when it comes to advice in general, is going to be nuanced and to individual experiences too. And it's up to, like, the individual on how they're going to interpret it or how they're going to implement advice or even choose to receive it. And I've decided at this time to, like, not put as much mental energy into being the one providing that advice at this time. I mean, the intention behind that is that, like, you know, I see a lot of people doing work that they don't enjoy and wishing that they can be doing something else, and it's like, okay, then if that's what you want, then why not work towards it? That's kind of like where my head's at. But I would be a hypocrite to, like, judge people that do that, because, you know, it took me a really long time to get to a point where I was actively doing things for myself. I'd say like I really started to try and turn my life around probably around a year before Lethal Company became a thing for me. And it started off like trying to really make my culinary career work for me, because I was passionate about food and food industry at the time, but my experiences kind of turned me away from it. And I had all this like energy that I needed to put somewhere else. And that's when Lethal Company came around, and I put that energy into Lethal Company instead. And becoming a gaming content creator. Got a coil head, by the way. Crazy work. Oh, there's not a door here. Shit. Hold on. I don't know what to do, because there's a thumper also. Mindset grind is crazy. And you know, everyone... And it's also like an ebb and flow type thing too. It's not like, you know, if I still had the mental grind set that I had when I was first building this YouTube channel, I could probably be somewhere insane right now. That said, I think I still am somewhere insane, you know. I still have the privilege of doing this full time, you know. I am a bit lucky that I did so well from the start, because if I continue with the numbers that I'm at now, I'm not going to be able to do this full time for much longer, which is why I'm like getting my shit together now. But it doesn't make sense to be 110% 100% of the time. You can increase the baseline performance too, but I think like it doesn't make sense to be too hard on yourself either. I think you have to be hard enough at least, because I think for a long time I was too lenient with myself, and if me being too lenient didn't take me places. And it took me at least 10 years to realize that. I started realizing it around like the time of my 28th birthday, I guess. I was reaching my 10-year anniversary of being a smoker and stoner, and it was a big belief of mine that I could just get absolutely blasted and still kind of like reach the level of success that I envisioned for myself. But then once 10 years passes and you have to think about how you spent the past 10 years of your life and compare where you were 10 years ago to now, I did not like the amount of progress that I had from 18 to 28. And that's when I started to really make changes. So I want to see where I'm at in another 10 years or so. Luckily, the start of 29 or whatever pretty much started with Lethal Company helping me grow an online presence on YouTube. And even though it's not as big as it was at the start, you know, we're still at the start of year 1 of being a content creator, and we haven't even started my 30s yet. It's that, like, on that time horizon, we're still on year 1 of 10. And that's a long time to work with, you know. Fighting my nicotine addiction right now. Yeah, you know, that... You know, giving up weed, you know, giving up cannabis, easy work, light work. But man, giving up nicotine and vaping and cigarettes, that one's the hard one. I'll be the first and probably not the last to say it. I think for the first time in my life, like earlier this year, I reached 1 year of not smoking anything, which was cool. And in that time, you know, I feel like I made a lot of progress. It wasn't easy. I've actually broken that seal for both fronts recently. Gone back to it to see if it would affect me as poorly as it would. But this is the first time I've gone back and haven't gotten stuck too. I don't feel like as tied to it anymore. Or reliant, rather. It also didn't help that, you know, I would get super paranoid on, like, with weed, too. I think when it comes to getting high, I prefer getting high on my own, and it's really hard to find times to be by myself. And that's not even as much of the case anymore, you know? I just like having, you know...
Your hard work is invaluable to the company.
Like, after doing the 10 years of reflection on... Or reflecting over my past 10 years of being a stoner and what being high has actually brought for me performance-wise, it's kind of hard to get high and really see it in the same positive light as when I first saw it or started using it, you know? And I'm not surrounded by a lot of high-performing cannabis users or high-performing stoners in the capacity that I would like to be. I think I just oversold while yapping. That I never got into smoking or drinking seems like a crazy debuff. Yeah, I don't think it's really worth getting into, honestly. I've never had a problem with drinking. I've enjoyed it in the past, but I've never like been to the point where I can't move on or go about my day or night without having a drink. That was the easiest one to cut out. And when I was like giving up smoking too, I just gave up all drinking opportunities too, because whenever I drank, I was more inclined to smoke, because like smoking is cool, but then when you drink and then smoke, it's a lot nicer. And I would say my social life both suffered and didn't at the same time, because when I started like not smoking and not drinking, I realized how many social outings revolved around those two activities specifically. I'm like, well, I guess I'm just not gonna hang around these crowds anymore. And it is what it is. Like, not like I'm not friends with those people anymore. It's just that I don't go out of my way to make time for those types of gatherings now. I do like beer also. I do like drinks. But drinking also puts me out of commission way more than the other two. Also just don't, like with where I live too, gotta drive everywhere. That might be part of the reason why I've never gone too heavy on the drinking, because I have to drive so much, like, I'm required to drive to get to places unless I want to Uber or Lyft. But you know, drinking's expensive. Drinking is so expensive. Like, I go out to drink, I also have to pay, like, drinks are expensive to begin with. Then I have to pay for a Lyft, Uber, probably eating out because I'm not gonna cook while I'm drinking. I'm looking at like 200 bucks a night every time I go out to drink or eat. Sometimes when it's just to eat, I'm looking at $100 bill per person because we decided to get drinks, whereas I can make it maybe 40 bucks if I'm just eating. Okay, I gotta see if this door is locked or not. So really, I don't drink because it's a sound financial decision. It's harder to say the same thing about smoking because smoking is infinitely cheaper financially compared to drinking. But it's also way harder to quit. So in the long term, I've definitely spent more money on like smoking products than drinking ones. Part of the reason why I stopped smoking and drinking on the topic of gatherings where it's only smoking and drinking, I realized that like part of my 10-year reflection was reflecting on how much I actually got to know the people that were in my circle. And the concerning thing to me was that I noticed that with those gatherings, I was mostly just going there to get absolutely blasted, to get high, get drunk. And I noticed that I wasn't able to answer a lot of questions about people's personal lives or personal preferences, even though I've known them for like 10 plus years, you know? Like, how much do I really know this person that I've been spending my time with? And it's because instead of like having conversations where we get to know each other better, we're just kind of getting blasted instead. And once that was the big one for me. I'm like, damn, I actually don't really know these people as well as I thought. Like, I'm comfortable in their presence, but I wouldn't be able to answer any personal questions about them if someone asked me. So I wanted to focus more on, like, when I get together with people, on like getting to know them and appreciating who they are rather than, you know, just getting fucked up all the time. Rather take financial L from meat than a drink for sure. Yeah, you know, like let me spend, like if the reason I can't afford all of the, like all this crazy expensive and good food is because I'm getting a drink with it, like I can cut out the drink part, honestly. Especially as someone who was in food, you know. Like I like seeing how far people can push like the culinary meta. But if you want to, if you want to eat at the good places, you have to have the money to afford it. Especially when you live in a place like San Diego that has so many good food places, and it's all super expensive. I don't mind food being expensive as long as it's good, you know. I'll pay to support businesses that are putting out good food like that. Culinary meta is a hilarious phrase. I mean, there is culinary metas, you know. Like for example, using seasonal ingredients and stuff. There was a phase where like, well, right now the meta for like raw fish is like doing poke and stuff. Like opening up a place that does poke bowls is a lot more profitable than doing a sushi bar or a more high-end place. Making food that's Instagrammable or that a foodie influencer can visit and promote, that's meta also. The meta for profitable sushi places is to put spicy mayo and eel sauce and sriracha on everything and deep fry your rolls. Or have enough money to risk opening up an omakase business. But damn, is it difficult to be profitable in sushi without doing just the basic stuff. There's not enough people who are willing to pay for like the authentic sushi experience to make those businesses profitable on their own. Sugar salt meta. That's a whole rabbit hole. I'm also starting to get hungry, and when I get hungry, my Lethal Company performance starts to go down quite significantly. Do I keep going? I kind of went into yapping and didn't realize how much I was looting or not. I have no concept of how much of this moon I've looted so far. Like 0, actually. Which is kind of like OG Chef Austin Lethal Company stuff. Lethal Company is kind of just a platform for me to talk about whatever comes to mind, rather than a platform to show people how good I am at the game. If this was a platform for me to show people how good I am at the game... What the... Okay, well, I'm gonna have to move you for a second. Wait, I have to move you even farther. I want to grab this large axle somehow. Casual yapping interrupted by a coil head. Wouldn't have it any other way. Okay, now I think we go back. Give me a second. I actually need to get out of here without dying. Yeah, that jump was a bit more dicey than I was hoping for, honestly. Thankfully, I don't have the jump fix mod that accounts for the jump delay. Lethal Company's jump delay actually saved me this time. Back break, 20 minutes, and we come back. I mean, I plan on being... I don't see this run ending anytime soon, so... see how it goes. Welcome back, Spin. Okay, I definitely have enough time to bring this all back. Oh, got Baboon Hawks, though. Not my favorite sound ever. First Baboon Hawk of the day, by the way. That's crazy. I wonder if the... oh, well, okay. It's gonna... it's gonna die, at least. The dog, most likely. The Baboon Hawk doesn't win that 1v1. We are definitely getting to hungry hours. Gulini with clam sauce. Ooh. That sounds pretty good. I might try my hand at making a risotto after stream. When my aunt was in the Philippines, I went through all of our pasta and stuff and kind of was, I guess, taking a dip into making pastas and sauces. And there is a bag of rice in the pantry that I have yet to use. And rather than just kind of cooking it regularly, I kind of want to see if I can turn it into risotto. And I have all the ingredients. Gotta actually do it. Never made it before. And I understand that it's not the easiest thing to make, but that's never stopped me before. Usually the first time I make something, it's not very good. Then every time after that, it gets slightly better. That's gotta be OP, having Italian family members make Italian food. Tried my own challenge called Don't Get Jump Scared by a Surprise Bracken. I think it's impossible. I still get jump scared by a surprise bracken, so that might actually be impossible. I have to turn off emotions for the entire run, I think, for that to even be remotely possible. Run ends when you get jump scared by a bracken. Val only. Well, if you go Val only, then you're expecting it the whole time. "10 minutes away from Italy?" Oh, okay. I'd say we have some decent Italian places here. Obviously, I can't compare it to the real thing. But there is one place in San Diego that I would probably put up to bat for authentic Italian food. And it's because they are a recipient of the, I think it's called the Gambero Rosso or Gambero Rossi Three Forks Award, which is, like, from my understanding, the Italian equivalent of receiving 3 Michelin stars. And it's like one and only a handful of restaurants in the world that has that award. I haven't gone to it yet, but it's the place that's on my bucket list. Screamed again. I'm glad that, you know, Lethal Company still has those jump scares. I think after so much Lethal Company, it's the least expected because, you know, nothing's really supposed to scare you in this game after a while, but there's still some that get you every now and again. Snare Fleas still get me, Jesters still get me, Bracken still get me. And it's kind of funny every time it does. Half Japanese, be making sushi and takoyaki when we visit my grandparents. Hey, I love takoyaki. I have all the stuff to make it, I just haven't done it. Working my ass off to go there. Word. It's funny because I've worked in sushi for so long and I've never gone. It'd be expensive. It's kind of part of the downside of me leaving college instead of just graduating. I knew, or in my head I was like, okay, I know that by leaving college and doing my own thing, I'm probably not gonna make a lot of money. Enough money to go travel to all the places that I want. I kind of just gotta lock in and do what I got to do to be the kind of person that can travel like that. And then after 10 years of not locking into the capacity that I wanted to, that's when, you know, I started making changes. So I'm hoping that in the next 10 years that I can kind of build my way up to that kind of thing. But you know, it's not that I haven't traveled though. I did take advantage of going abroad when I was in school. But I was like, yep, this is probably going to be the one time I can do this for a really long time, so I'm going to enjoy myself while I'm out here. I was in London for 3 months before a project. Spent, I think, a week or so in Amsterdam. A week in Paris and Nice. And then a week and a half in Barcelona. And that was kind of my out-of-country experience, I suppose. I do go to Mexico every now and again. I'm like not too far from Mexico. 20-minute drive for me, really. I just don't go too often because the 20 minutes to get there, 4 hours to come back because of like border stuff. So I guess that's the one thing. Well, San Diego has a lot of good food, but San Diego also has access to really great Mexican food just by being right next to Mexico. And there is a big difference between food that you eat in the US versus food you eat in Mexico. Made a 1-year pause in my studies to build a PC and go to Japan, literally. I wish I knew about gap years before going to college. I kind of just went immediately after high school because that was the meta, unfortunately. And I also wasn't like in the best headspace around that time, and my whole thing was to just go as far away from everyone here as possible, and I ended up going into a lot of debt just doing that. The smarter play would have just been take a gap year or get a job, honestly, no debt. But those aren't things that I'm worrying about as a kid who thinks he has like everything in the future set for himself with no real evidence to show for it. Confidence with no results, really. Well, I had results in like, you know, in grades and stuff. I never really had a problem performing well in like a school context. Until I actually had to do real like academic work in college, and it wasn't just like trying to get a good grade or anything, but actually do real work, I guess. That's when I started struggling. First time I actually struggled academically. Oh shit. Okay, well, what am I supposed to do about that? For those that didn't see, I scanned a coil head. So, yeah, that's what I'm dealing with right now. This is all of a sudden going from a midnight only challenge just to be 40 offense only. I was super young. I lived in Japan for like 3 years when my dad got stationed there. Ayy. Why do I have to be from frickin' Russia? The person who made my emotes, Creef, is from Russia. High school is a cakewalk. You don't know, you miss till it's gone. Yeah. But you know, that's part of growing up, I guess. Getting a little bit older. I think it's good that I recognize how not valuable a lot of that education was. I'm leaving, by the way. We're gonna keep this run pushing. I don't think it's gonna be very interesting watching me wait and play around a coil head at the entrance. Whoa, 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 whoa. I didn't know I could jump on that. Good info. I almost fell off the ship because I didn't know that. $42. Eclipsed offense, finally. It's the energy I had in high school. It couldn't pay me to go back and live with my parents post high school. I feel that super hard, actually. Okay. I wouldn't be opposed to go back in time though to do that. But if we're talking about going back to high school today in 2024, I kind of like the freedom that I have right now. If I could go back to high school circa 2009 through 2013, then we're cooking a little bit. I can make a lot of different choices. I can invest in Bitcoin and be set for life. Okay, please have no nav mesh here. If there's nav mesh here, I'm cooked. It seems like I'm okay. But I wish I was more independent with my self-education in high school and didn't rely on the college pipeline as much as I did. Cause I kind of just went through the school system believing that if I just did all my homework and got into a good college and got a degree, etc., that things would work out. Brother, I want to play the game. I want to play the game. Maybe Coilhead nerf was good, huh? No, I'll only get along now because I don't live anywhere near her. Yeah, I feel that, honestly. I got kicked out of both my parents' places at 18, so I resonate with that. Okay, I'm gonna go back in. I'm gonna go back in. Don't kill me! Oh god. What am I supposed to do? What am I, like, do you actually play this? I'm not playing this. We are moving away from the midnight framing. We are just gonna see if we can get 7 quotas, honestly. We've been on offense for quite a bit, too. Almost 2 hours. What age is high school? High school is 14 to 18. Or sometimes 13 to 19, depending on it, but the standard age is 14 to 18. At least where I'm from, it is. We had middle school. Middle school was 12 to 13. We had kindergarten through 6th grade, so 7 years in elementary school, 2 years in middle, and then 4 in high school. Shout out standardized education, am I right? We're out here talking about our differences. I think this is 3rd quota. This gotta be 3rd quota. At this point, I might as well keep all my big bolts until I have to sell them. This is probably enough. You live in Canada? Fair. Yeah, the US decides to do everything different because we're quirky. $205. What's my quota again? 340? I should get in the habit of typing it in the bottom left. 424, wow. Glad I checked, huh? 205. I need to sell basically 220 or 219. So 51 or 61, right? Let's start with this. $176. Two years left of studies. As soon as I get the job, parents won't see me again. It is what it is, you know. 43. I don't relate too much to, like, you know, family being everything by default. I think that kind of just lets people disrespect you, or opens up opportunities for people to disrespect you, or for no reason other than being related, which makes no sense to me. I understand why people would, you know, would have those values, but a lot of things in my upbringing just don't align with those values, so I'm not inclined to abide by them myself, no matter what people tell me. Good for the people though, that, you know, it resonates with and that it works for. I'm not gonna say that, like, you know, abiding by family values is the wrong way to live. It's just very dependent on, like, what your experiences are. I think it's cool. I think it's fine to, like, live by your personal experiences. I'd like to think that's why, like, you know, being independent and stuff is super important to me, because a lot of, like, the support systems I've had, or at least, like, I've lost a lot of trust in a lot of support systems that I've had. And it's a lot better for me to, like, be able to stand on my own rather than, you know, rely on other people. Which is, some people, is kind of like a sad way to lead life, I guess. I'm not that sad about it, though. The opposite spin. I wish I actually paid attention in college. I think I mostly went to college to socialize and experience freedom, and I don't think that's worth going into tens and thousands of dollars in debt for. In hindsight, though. In hindsight. But, you know, I used to be a lot more reckless than I am now. Blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the room, yeah, of the womb, yeah. It's funny because that's one quote that often gets misconstrued to go the other way. There's a handful of quotes where the shortened version just means the complete opposite of what the original is meant for. Which is interesting to me, and that's one of them, right? Because people will say blood is thicker than water to say that, you know, family over chosen family. But then when the actual quote is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, it's like the exact opposite meaning. You know, I'm not gonna think too much beyond that. Maybe people just remembered it wrong or something. That's crazy to me. That a quote can be so misconstrued that it ends up meaning the opposite of what the original meant. Like, to each their own, you can find value in the blood is thicker than water quote as well. But damn, to build your philosophy on an inaccuracy is kind of nuts in my head. On the path with minimum of effort at school, get a good job that I actually like, study less and be happy. AE. I should have just, I would think if I just hardcore studied my time in college, I can be in a different place, but I never really liked the idea of working hard at college and then getting a good paying corporate job. So I would always be working for someone else. And nowadays, you know, having a six-figure salary job doesn't sound too bad. But you know, no matter what you do, grass is gonna seem greener on every other side that isn't yours. So I think even if I was like in that six-figure position, I would probably still think about like what happens if I actually just went the YouTube route instead, or the content creator route, or a more independent one, or a food one. So like the only ones that I can have real like opinions about, I guess, or founded opinions, are based on the lives that I have lived and whether or not I liked those or not. Like I can at least rule out being a professional chef as a life path. You know, it's kind of hard to, I can't accurately rule out pursuing, you know, taking college seriously and getting that six-figure corporate job as a path that I wouldn't have been happy with, because it's not a life that I lived. But every life that I have lived, I can rule out. So if I ever, for whatever reason, go back to school, go back to college or whatever, I'm not going to be like using it for the social life that I did the first time around. I'm probably not going to go back to food from a professional capacity, unless, you know, I'm financially forced to, because I somehow didn't make YouTube and streaming work. Making YouTube and streaming work is like the exception anyway. But it's not, I'm not just gonna like give up on it because it's hard. Bridge engineer now, so I guess it worked out, but I'd have like to enjoy life a little more back then. Fair enough, yeah. But I also think being able to enjoy life now is pretty lit. I don't talk to a lot of my college friends nowadays anyway. But it's because they're, you know, I went to school on the East Coast. I live on the West Coast. Most of them live on the East Coast. But I have had a handful of them come and visit. And whenever they visit San Diego, you know, they tend to hit me up still. Which is really nice. But I'm also like used to not seeing people for really long periods of time and being okay with it. That is true, like the whole energy thing. I have no idea how I operated while perma-stoned back when I was younger. Because there was like a period of time, like that whole 10 years, I was pretty much just high for all of it. And like I can't imagine being a functioning person in that state anymore. And it makes me wonder like what I could have done if I wasn't just nerfing myself for 10 years. That's what these next 10 years are for. What happens if I'm not nerfing myself? I'm still nerfing myself in a lot of different ways. Like not sticking to exercising or like eating healthy all the time is just objectively a nerf. Like I don't have any health or mental reasons that prevent me from doing these things. It's just a matter of lack of discipline. And And that's kind of how I saw, like, me not uploading to YouTube or not playing Lethal Company. Like, Lethal Company might not be my favorite game at this time. You know, I've shared my like disinterest of this game many times since but back to that thing about being a professional, like, I run a Lethal Company channel, you know. So I'm kind of treating it like a job right now. I have no problem doing work. So if I just treat Lethal Company like work, I should be able to get through it just fine. And then I can work on the other stuff like my passion project. Basically just living the timeline that's gonna happen if I don't stay on top of my YouTube stuff. Through staying on top of my YouTube stuff instead of getting to that point, if that makes sense. Jack of all trades, master of none, better than a master of one. Yeah, that one's crazy to me. I also have like mixed feelings about the Jack of all trades one. I do think it's good to like experience a lot of different things to figure out what you like and what you don't like. But I think a lot of roads eventually lead to mastering something. That's kind of what I'm working with right now. I'm trying to figure out what the one thing if I have to pick one thing in life to master, what would it be? And the best way to figure that out is to try out so many different things that you eventually land on it, or you can at least start ruling stuff out. Because it's hard to rule stuff out if you haven't experienced it, I guess. Don't talk to anyone from college except for Calm, who I married. That makes sense. That tracks. Drunk for most of college, weed tragically makes me super sick. I'd have probably been high instead. You know, I actually didn't drink a lot in college. I mostly only drank because it was part of fraternity culture to do so. But I was mostly a stoner. Which is funny to think about because my fraternity had two different factions within it. We also literally had two fraternity houses right next to each other. One of them was the drinking house, the other one was the smoking house. Our fraternity was also surprisingly inclusive and very consent heavy. Like, I went through all the hazing and whatever, like, you know, initiation. But if there was something we weren't comfortable with doing, we weren't forced to do it. Hello. You are in the way. One of my chores for the fraternity was cooking meals for all the brothers. And it was a requirement that we made a vegetarian option for every meal also, because we had a lot of brothers that were vegetarian or vegan. So that was super cool. I did not live a normal fraternity life that people think of when you think of that. I need to grab the two-handed items outside. I don't see why that wouldn't count. You're with someone for 7 years, you know. Yeah, alcohol was, well, not just alcohol, literally anything that you could possibly want. Very easy, very accessible in college. Doesn't matter how good of or bad of a college you went to. You could, if you wanted something, you could find it, and I'll leave it at that. And I did whatever I could get my hands on. There are a lot of different timelines where I'm dead or in prison. And I'm glad that this isn't one of them. Okay, I actually think I'm behind pace now. I think I'm under paced. People, like, when people start, like, hearing about the life that I've lived leading up to this point, I think a lot of people get surprised of how much I've done in my time in life, I guess. Like, to me, it doesn't sound too crazy, but I guess, you know, I wasn't crazy sheltered, I guess. Or, a lot of times, like, a lot of my MO was if I wanted to do something, I would do it. The one thing that would stop me from doing things that I want is financial independence, which is why, like, money is important to me. Like, it's not like money is everything, it's just that money can help you do a lot of things, you know? Money doesn't buy you happiness, but it can help you afford the things that help you make you happy. Or money doesn't buy happiness, but money solves your money problems. And a lot of people are unhappy because of their money problems. Like, when it comes down to it. Money is kind of like the starting line to, especially in like America, I guess. If you don't have money, you can't even begin to solve a lot of your problems, or it's hard to, at least. You're gonna be struggling with the survival aspect of life. Because anyone who thinks you don't need money to survive is delusional. Or they make enough money to where they don't have to worry about it. Yeah, the financial security to survive, for sure. And that's why, like, money solves money problems. And once your money problems are solved, you can start solving the other ones, you know? You can start asking yourself the question of, like, I mean, you can ask yourself what makes you happy and whatnot, but a lot of things get kind of clouded when you have to think, well, if money would make me happy, it's because, you know. But it's like, why would money make you happy? It's because there's a pain point that money would solve. But then once money solves that problem, what comes after that? But how many people have that luxury to start thinking about that? Oh, I can bring the two-handed items up this way. I don't know how I get... Oh, you know what? Is there a world where I jetpack up there to get that item? Yeah, this is absolutely two-handed hell. What did I buy a jetpack for? Version 40 can detect when you have a jetpack on your ship, and when it does, it spawns two-handed items. That's a lie. Offense just has a lot of two-handed items, so it is what it is. Luckily, I have the fire exit right here, so it's not going to be that bad. I understand taking the moral high ground of, you know, money not being everything, but I prefer the more practical, let's make some money so we can, you know, live life better. It's something more tangible. I think the whole you don't need money to be happy is a little bit too abstract to be agreed upon. Whereas, you know, like actually just getting your bag up is a tangible result. And I guess part of why I don't really like abstract sayings too is because, you know, going back to the whole family thing, like family is everything, but then that didn't matter to me, or that didn't apply. Or like, you know, opinions on education that didn't pan out. It's like, what else is wrong? Or like, what, it made me focus more on things that can be proven to be effective rather than, you know, just trust me, bro, it's morally it's correct. I enjoy doing clay projects, but it also costs money, right? I enjoy like feeding everybody and like, you know, going crazy with what I can do. Introducing people to culinary experiences that they never even thought was possible or accessible in their area. But I usually end up going negative on those. For the sake of like putting something crazy on, you know. Spending time with friends, you know, how many outings or like friendship outings are there that don't cost anything? Just straight up having a roof over your head. There's not everyone's down for like the nomad life, or like, you know, living out of your car, or like being homeless. I'm not sure if I would like it either. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't like it. But it's a path that I've like considered at some point. You know, if things go like really wrong, I have to consider like, would I enjoy being homeless or would I enjoy like being in a being imprisoned? I'm not gonna throw away what I have now to go find it out, but you know, I hope that I wouldn't hate it. Yeah, if money wasn't fundamental to survival, then we can easily say it's not needed, for sure. But I'm happy that there's people out there who make enough that can hold that opinion. And not think much else about it. Starting a small non-profit animal rescue. Digging into my own pocket for those animals adds up fast. Exactly, right? Even doing good for the world costs money. Doing good for your community and the people around you. It's not cheap. If you think about it in terms of games, you know, like you start an MMO, I feel like there's a lot of parallels between like MMO gameplay and real life. You can't just be doing crazy shit out the gate. You kind of have to grind a little bit first. And then after you've done your due diligence and grinded, you know, that unlocks the world for you. That's kind of true in the same in life also. Getting your money up, connections up, etc. Your presence, it unlocks a lot of the world. And as someone who's been on the service side of the world, you know, like I like done crazy parties as a sushi chef, like mostly like private gigs, corporate ones, some super high-end stuff. I'm like, damn, people really just be living like this. And I wouldn't have known if I wasn't in this industry. I could have just been completely unaware that people were living life this way. And it's not like what they're doing isn't attainable. A lot of times you just have to know that an option exists. Oh shit. And when you know an option exists and that it's within your reach, then why not go for it? If it's something that you'd be inclined to do. Like I always knew that like gaming content was tangible. Wasn't sure if it was worth the work, but then once I started getting, you know, like my YouTube results and stuff, I'm like, wait a minute, this is a lot more doable than I thought. That's when I got a lot more hardcore about it and a lot more preachy about it. I'm reaching the point where it's like I'm no longer dealing in a viral niche. And so I kind of got to learn the actual grind part and patience part, the long-term part of creating content. Some deep conversations we have. They're like really the only conversations I enjoy having. I'm not really one for small talk or anything. I'll do small talk. I mean, I've done it on stream or whatever. I've done it professionally when I would do sushi gigs. It's kind of a good skill to be decent at small talk, to navigate life. But the only conversations I really enjoy having are like the deeper ones. It's Eclipse. I better get ready. Finally made this jump. I saw something about it being based about living in a place where you don't need a car or insurance or rent or taxes. I think that would be based for sure. I think what's also based is just having so many resources that you don't even have to think about that kind of thing. One of those is more likely, at least for me, and it's the second one. If making a shit ton of money was my top priority, I probably wouldn't be doing gaming content. I'd be doing education content. Education and finance and personal development. And figuring out how to sell a program or a book. I mean, it's still kind of, you know, it's still in my playbook. I would like to do that eventually. And I started pivoting into that. Well, okay, that was what I was gonna do before Lethal Company was a thing. Because that's just one, it's the most profitable type of content you can make. And two, it's what I'm personally interested in. Like when I was working in a kitchen, that's all I would listen to. I would listen to personal development stuff, finance things, online business. Like that's just the meta right now. If you want to like make a lot of money solo and fast. Fast being like over the course of like 1 to 5 years, you know. That's fast. And I think that amount of time being fast is kind of weird to think about in such a fast-paced environment of social media, whatever. Call me a boomer for calling social media that way. But it's just true. Okay. And honestly, I'd still like to go back to it at some point, but then kind of have like a gaming twist to it. Like use my now, I guess, more established role as a gaming content creator, and kind of finding like the middle ground between those things. Because I find like gamers to be like the kind of people who would do well if they dedicated their like a lot of their grind energy to something like finance and personal development or whatever. Because like what a lot of people lack when it comes to pursuing that kind of thing is just like the ability, like the actual grind set. You know, it kind of sounds, you know, the Sigma grind set. You don't have to think of it as a Sigma grind set, but dude, if you guys think like gamers are not grinders, dude, people put like thousands of hours into their favorite video game. Like, what if you put that same amount of hours into business? What if you saw like business or life as a game? You know, there's like, I believe that there's a handful of gamers out there who kind of just need to make that connection, and then they'll do the rest on their own. I don't think every gamer will do it, obviously. But I think there's enough of them to where I think like that's kind of a worthwhile thing to do. Myself being one of them. I think that's one of the reasons why I end up dropping a game around the 300-400 hour mark. Then I think like, okay, I spent 300-400 hours like really deep diving this thing that I enjoyed. But I know that there is the angle of like making gaming content where if I dedicated just as much time of my gaming to that gaming content grind, I could probably be somewhere different. I could probably do this a lot more sustainably rather than having to stop at some point for like a day job or whatever. So that's why my Lethal Company hours are 400 hours in game, but probably closer to 1,000 plus if you include like editing and market research, whatever. One moment. I think I went the wrong way. I did go the wrong way. But you know, when I share opinions like that, people say, oh, well, gaming is just a hobby, whatever. Like, it's not that serious. But I think people like that don't realize the scope of, you know, social media. It doesn't have to be gaming content. It can be whatever you're interested in. Gaming's just one of the ones that, you know, I can personally relate to because it's something I enjoy. My life is just small talk. It is what it is. I'll do it. I'm just not going to be rushing into situations where I have to do it. Just a script that no one actually likes, right? Like, oh hey, how are you? Good. How about you? How's work? How's your YouTube thing going? Got a job. How's your family? Any plans for the summer? What show are you watching? How about that latest sports bet? Watch Chef Austin's latest YouTube video? Yeah, I don't like Dead by Daylight either. You should just stick to Lethal Company indefinitely. Gonna go home at 4 AM while it's blowing so hard. Hope you get home safely. I really don't. You know what? That's one of the benefits of living in San Diego. We don't get any crazy weather like that. The worst we've ever had were like the fires and stuff. We get a few earthquakes, but those aren't as serious as people make them out to be. But damn, different places in the world get some crazy weather. I'm so glad I'm not in a place that gets like snowstorms or like tornadoes or hurricanes, you know. I don't have to worry about getting like losing my house to RNG like that. Then again, maybe I haven't been in enough hurricanes to, you know, to realize they're not as bad. I don't know. Feel like when I small talk, I feel like I'm pretending to be human. It's definitely like, yeah. Well, at the same time too, it's kind of weird to just jump straight into deep conversations. Like deep conversations don't necessarily have to be like philosophical or anything, which is why I like talking to people or having conversations about like what people are passionate about and what they're doing to do it. You know, whenever someone one-on-one asks me about YouTube or something, or what it takes to become a gaming content creator, I'm an open book. And I'll talk all day. Because that's like something I'm just genuinely interested in. It's a skill that I'm working on personally. You ask me the meaning of life, I'm not gonna really give you an answer. I'll think about it. I feel like I haven't lived enough life yet to have like a solid meaning, and meaning is, you know, up to the beholder or whatever. But my life, what my answer to that question is gonna be different than what your answer is. I guess it could be cool to figure it out, but that kind of falls more under small talk to me. Ready for the weekend? Weekends don't even apply to me no more. Every day is the same. The thing that separates days for me is whether or not I have to take the trash out or something. Otherwise, there's no real difference between weekdays and weekdays and weekends for me. Gotta rush through the script. Yeah. I guess we'll drop the shovel. Snowstorms are chill. I did get snowstorms while I was in school. Kind of cool that classes and everything would get canceled because of snow. But I'm also allergic to the cold, so I can't even go out and enjoy snow like that. Go figure. Austin, who's allergic to cold, went somewhere where it snows for school. Local San Diego boy wants to experience the seasons, realizes that it's better to just be in consistent 70-degree weather at all times of the year. Please move from the loot. Why is he stuck like that? There's so much loot right there, I'm not gonna leave it. Give me a moment. I have to be a little careful because I'm not entirely sure how he... Like, this dog's pathing is kind of crazy. Might just get RNG'd, you know? He's just going back and forth between those 2 points. Oh, now he goes that way. Okay. See, that's kind of why I waited it out, because I wasn't sure where he was gonna go, honestly. Fire is when your job can take advantage of the insurance policies. Fire. Fires that burn down your work establishment and give you forced vacations. Fire. Fires that burn down your living space. Not as fire. Minus 40 degrees Celsius. That is very cold. I would actually die. I think a lot of people would die to that, actually. I don't think that's restricted to my own allergies or anything. Remember I went surfing once in like cold water and then I came out with hives all over my body. It was not cool. Went to like an allergy doctor or whatever and they said, yeah, bring an EpiPen whenever you decide to go into cold weather. Or if you feel like you're gonna experience colder body temperatures. Like, yeah, I'll just avoid all of it, actually. I'm not gonna risk that. Also, the medicine they gave me was the worst ever tasting thing I've ever had in my life. And that probably just turned me off from ever risking that kind of reaction ever again. This is quota 4, I think. Quota 4 or 5. Kind of just been vibing. Not really paying too much attention to progress or anything. No idea if I'm on pace or not. Hopefully I am. Some of this loot is super valuable though. I'm probably overselling if I put all of this up there. $395. Let's just put all of this up there and see where that puts me. I feel like that's really close to what I need. Ooh, I'm like 9 short. Okay, so let me just put something not very valuable up there then. I have anything not very valuable. Maybe I will start selling off my big bolt collection. This one worth 21 is gonna go first. Thank you. Did I leave my jetpack, by the way? I feel like I left my jetpack on one of the moons. I guess I'll buy another one. Don't really have anything else to spend money on. I'll buy a shovel too. Get in. Yeah, northern part of Russia, like Siberia, temperature there could reach up to minus 60. Yeah, I'm not going to those places. I'm good. Need to get an EpiPen for my own not cold allergy. I think my service dog can be trained for detection though. Word. I think EpiPens are expensive though. I haven't gotten another one since my first one when I was really young. Mostly because I've just avoided those situations. So the price of EpiPens isn't necessarily on my radar, even though I was supposed to have one. But last I heard they're kind of expensive, so it's probably gonna stay that way. Stick to my own version of cold. Normally only just below 0 degrees Celsius a few times over winter. That is much more manageable. For me in San Diego, cold usually means like, I don't know what 60 degrees Fahrenheit is. Sometimes it dips into 50 degrees Fahrenheit and people lose their shit. But you know, I went to a place where it snows and gets real cold, so I understand that that's not cold. And same when it reaches like 80 degrees Fahrenheit, people complain that it gets too hot. That's how spoiled we are here. And you know, I'd rather be spoiled than have to actually live through the harsh environments to brag about it. I like being spoiled. Let's keep it that way. I was allergic to mold. There's so much mold and stuff that people don't realize. I don't like mold. It's not even sweater weather, exactly, right? It was funny, like the first time, like my first year of college when I came back from college during December, I got off the plane and was in short t-shirt and feeling just fine, and everyone that was waiting for me was in like full winter getup, and they had like a hot chocolate and stuff ready for me. I mean, I still appreciated the hot chocolate, but you know, not because it was cold, but because, you know, it was a nice gesture, and I like hot chocolate. This is a good first inventory, by the way. Damn, I've never heard of school being canceled because of wind chill, but I mean, minus 20 degrees Celsius. Pretty intense. Poor nurse gave me penicillin, almost exploded. That would have been horrible. Just imagine what an exploding baby would look like. I don't recommend anyone else to do that. Fall, winter, and spring. Yeah, definitely at that point it's easier to track what you're not allergic to season-wise. Alright. Let's make use of our jetpack, huh? Actually, I think I'm gonna run the two-handed object here real quick. Yeah, this makes sense. Because I'm gonna have to run that bottle over here eventually. I think the earlier the better. I thought about flying over and then running it back, but then my run back is gonna be more dangerous. Well, that's probably more ideal, huh? Because then I'm not running with any weight. Whatever. We're already here. It should be early enough to where there's no danger. Putting hot chocolate mix in my coffee every morning. That's an easy mocha, perhaps? Run is surprisingly long, I know, right? Well, when you go from like what's it called? When you go from a speed run where I'm just land leaving everywhere, this one where you try to stay a bit longer is gonna feel longer by comparison for sure. I'm not even staying until midnight anymore. I'm just because I think staying till midnight I'd be here forever and not even that far along. I kind of want to finish the run today. I'm gonna finish it in one sitting, so kind of why I dropped the midnight aspect. 30 minutes left till the end of my shift. Hopefully I'm still going in 30 minutes. If I'm not going in 30 minutes, something went horribly wrong. And I'm hoping that's not the case. You know, I've already invested so much time into this run, I'd rather just get there. That's one of like the dejecting things about doing high quota. Like you can spend so much time on one run, and then like one or two mistakes will end it. And I can only imagine how much worse it is when you do an actual high quota run. Like those runs are lasting like what, almost 20 hours? Like imagine like you're on hour 19 and then some mistake just ends the run for you. Like right before you're able to break through or something. That's some incredible patience, you know. I probably would have quit Lethal Company a long time ago if that's like how I normally played. I'm getting upset when I lose like a 2 to 3 hour run, you know? I lose an 18-hour run? Or... That's nuts to me. I mean, they do... I think they split it up, you know, because for high quota, you're allowed to split your sessions into up to 4 sessions. I mean, still, that's like 4 5-hour sessions. And one of them might just end your run. Watch you while I'm walking home, but it's raining and blowing. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'll most likely still be here, so... What quota am I on? I'm on either quota 4 or 5. I think it's 4, but I'm hoping it's 5. Oh, interesting. No. I'm not risking that. That was the fastest nope of my life. I'm already injured. It's offense. So much can go wrong there. Yeah, waiting. I'm fully waiting now. My indicator for my health being back is when my stamina bar comes back. I'm not risking anything. No need. No need. I'm not, like, it's not even guaranteed that I can turn that steam valve off, you know? And with offense being the map that it is, the moon that it is, I might just get randomly thumpered. I might get randomly coil-headed, and with my current health state, I'll just die in one hit. And that would be one of those mistakes, you know, that I'm talking about, that just ends a run out of nowhere. I'd rather not. Late in the day, too. Yeah, you know? Ow. Oh. That remote's pretty valuable. 47 on a remote is crazy. Big bolt, sure. I'm surprised I haven't died to a turret yet. Loot room. I'm actually gonna run. I'm gonna run down in case there's a turret in this room. Because I said that sentence, I remember that turrets can spawn in here. And it's real rude that they can. It's also real rude to not get anything in these lockers. That's unfortunate. Manifesting a turret, I hear. Yeah, you know. It's been a while. It's kind of been a little too long. I'm getting a little worried. I haven't seen a Bracken yet either. I mean, I'll take it, but... I haven't seen much other than thumpers and coil heads, really. Oh, well. I guess I'm supposed to go this way. No, there's a turret right there. Okay. Well then. Literally what I was looking for. Really want the Bracken turret combo? For real? I'm gonna summon the Avengers of offense. Right before, you know, I do something meaningful in this run. Surprised you're still streaming? I mean, my run's still going, so... no reason not to. So, my plan with streams, at least leading up to October 21st, is to stream at almost every day. Well, the goal is to stream every day, but obviously I'm going to leave in room for life, I guess. And try to get at least 2 lethal videos, or stream concept, or 2 lethal concepts out per stream. So that way I can kind of start getting ahead on the YouTube side of things. So today it was the V40 10 quota solo speedrun showcase, kind of featuring Short Sheriff's bounty, while also bringing some attention to Table Destroyer's new world record. And then the second one is the V40 offense only run, because why not? Because no one's crazy enough to do a solo offense run, so I might as well be. What quota is this? This is either quota 4 or 5. I hope it's 5. I lost count. Not gonna lie. Oh, okay. See, I got jetpack fuel glitch and I didn't even realize it, so I'm glad that I see that now. See, getting jetpack fuel glitch, if it were later in the day or during an eclipse, this would be horrible. I must have dropped the jetpack while I was still holding the fuel. That's what causes this glitch. It just keeps the fuel going, even if you're not using it. So that's why I'm running the jetpack back now. My arm's hungry, give him some food. Run won't end. I'm used to going long periods of time without food also. You know, it's funny because like working in food often means that you're not eating enough. Cause like you might have to go, you can't just stop service to eat. In a bigger restaurant team, like, you know, you get your breaks or whatever. But on the team that I was running, we would only be like 2 or 3 people at a time, and it's really hard to just kind of leave the kitchen even for a decent amount of time. So I can go a pretty long time without food. If it was becoming an issue, I would end the stream. Also, like, we probably, oh shit. I also just didn't bring any snacks up with me. It's not like I don't have snack food, but I mean, in my especially for like the past few weeks or so, you might have seen me like snacking on chips, or most recently snacking on like dried mangoes and stuff. I'm trying not to, I mean, I don't think there's really any harm in the snacking that I do while gaming and stuff. Oop. 1 second. Might have to deal with the danger here soon. Where is it? I just decided not to snack today. I also ate all of my chips. I've just had a box of crab chips next to my desk and have been eating them whenever I wanted, but now I'm out, so the snacking is a little less convenient, which is also fine. Not opposed to snacking a little less. It just means I have to go harder on my actual meals, which is fine. Do love me some snacks though, but if I have too many snacks, I will literally eat all of them until they're gone. I think I bought a box of those crab chips. There were 42 bags in that thing, and I ate it in 13 days. I ate it at a pace of 3 to 4 bags a day. Who needs self-control when you have crab chips? And 42 bags of them. Definitely not eating as much as I should normally too. Either too busy or literally forget. Part of what I want to do, definitely like part of my reintroduction to self-improvement habits or personal development habits. I want to get better about like how much I eat. Before Lethal Company, before I decided to become a gamer again, I was very strict about my diet and like my macros and stuff. And I kind of want to get back to more calculated eating again. I had really good energy levels, you know, I was the most fit I've ever been. And I want to get back what I sacrificed to grow my YouTube channel. Especially now that, you know, the YouTube grind is not as intense as it was at the start. Now it's just a matter of showing up, really. Like, oh, that's tough. Wait, where's my shovel? Oh, I think I dropped my shovel off the map. Oh no, I have it. Okay. Well, I think we're gonna go then. I'd rather not die to anything dumb. As I missed that jump. Imagine if I missed that jump. There was a world where I missed that. Oh god. I can't jump over that slime. Yes, I can. No, wait, this is death. Fuck. 'Cause now what? 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 How did I fall there? How did I fall there? That... what? Okay. I guess? I get... Alright, well, we have one day to get $721. I'm bringing everything in my arsenal to do this. I guess walking forward dropped, like, sent me backwards or something. I must have been on, like, a really not good part of the rail. Because I tried running forward past the slime. And I went backwards instead. I don't understand. That's really unlucky. Remember what I said about, you know, runs that kind of just end tragically to dumb mistakes? Well, here we are. Oh, we'd be so good right now too. Look at this inventory we're getting. Oh man, I was kind of looking forward to getting a, you know, solo high quota score on the leaderboard on offense. This is where the midnight only training comes into play. Because it's gonna have to. I'm gonna have to get 2 or 3 inventories that are worth more than 721 somehow. I don't know if that's possible, given offense's loot, but... You know what's crazy? I don't know if I've found the apparatus once. This whole run. I mean, having apparatuses wouldn't have stopped me from falling in that hole, but... You know, it's just kind of an observation. Alright, peace out, Doshi. Seems like a good time to peace out anyway, because this run is pretty much over. But we're gonna do a consolation run at least. When Lethal Company doesn't scam me, for real. I will be the first to say that that was probably a skill issue. Or that was a skill issue. But, I mean, that's also the first time in over 400 hours that I've had that specific rail interaction, so it happens. You can spend hundreds of hours doing one thing, and you'll still learn something new. Whether or not you like what you learn is a whole different thing. I guess I'll be more careful on rails next time. You know, we went from completely here it is. It was still an improvement. We went from completely missing rails to landing on them and not dismounting from them properly. So there was improvement in this time. But damn, what a time to find out where the next improvement has to be, huh? Been cooking tonight. I think the Forsaken Frontiers grind set is somewhat transferring over to Lethal Company. I said it the first time too after the first playtest. Like playing Lethal Company in a kind of a silly manner where the result of the challenge doesn't matter to me. I felt less attuned to that kind of approach to the game. And I'm glad that high quota and speedrunning is around now. Because it kind of gives me a goal to work towards, and I can kind of earnestly work towards it. I can't say I'm as dedicated as, you know, the people who are doing this quote-unquote for real. But it's kind of nice to actually try instead of, like, put together a challenge and then only be good enough to make the to showcase the challenge. Like, I actually kind of want to start completing some of them. Especially the solo ones, I guess. I'd probably do more duo stuff if Nico wasn't out of the country. It's kind of hard for me to schedule collabs with other creators because I don't really like blocking out times in my schedule for stuff. Cause I like having just ultimate flexibility over my own schedule. But I like opting into stuff. So like during the Forsaken Frontiers playtest, you know, Okles and Roy were putting together lobbies, and I had the option of just joining in on them, and that's a lot better for me. But when I'm the one like setting it up, I'm like, oh man, I actually have to go do that thing that I added to my schedule. I don't know. Anyone else relate to that? With Nico, it's pretty easy to collab with him because I just message him on a whim and be like, yo, you wanna play Lethal in like an hour? And most of the time he's down. How's the run going, dude? It was going super well until like 5 minutes ago. I feel like I was definitely on pace to submitting a high quota offense only run. But an incident occurred, unfortunately. I'm pulling this. 10 minutes and I'm gone. It's likely that this run is over in 10 minutes anyway. Oh, well. Oh, and there's a dog too. Oh, shit. Oh shit, my thumb's cramping up from I have my crouch button tied to my mouse button so I can crouch run. But that would have not been good if I stopped crouch running next to that dog. It's starting to get cold, so like the cold is getting to my thumb right now. But you know, we're out here. Been trying out solo quotas. Any big tips for starting out? I'd say make sure that whenever you go into a facility that you 100% know your way out. I'd say play for life also. Like, because you're solo, you can't be as risky about navigating interiors or exteriors as you would be in a group. And usually the goal with solo is to get just 1 or 2 like solid inventories. It's not likely that you're gonna full clear a moon or get more than that. So once you like secure 1 or 2 inventories, you're probably okay. Starting fire exit also is generally a good strat because that puts you directly into the main network and you'll find loot faster than going main. The only reason you'll see me going main first in these challenges is because I'm doing a challenge where I have to stay until midnight. Well, at least I was anyway. And a lot of times going fire exit second is a lot safer of a final transfer. But if I'm going in there just for like 1 or 2 inventories of loot, I'm just going fire exit every time. Also, get used to dying. Get used to dying and losing runs. Midnight challenges have been hilarious. This one started off as a midnight challenge. Well, honestly, the interiors have been so ridiculous that I kind of forwent the midnight part of it, and I'm just trying to go for the offense thing. But now that I think about it, I'm remembering now that you can stun coil heads with stun grenades, so I'm gonna have to remember that when I revisit offense, if I ever do midnight only offense again. Cause I've had some crazy spawns for this particular offense. But now that I have a second to think about it, now that my run is over, it's not like they weren't playable. Oh, speaking of, hello. This is tough because I don't have enough money, but I think I'm just gonna have to cope. I'm gonna see how much I did get though. Sorry guys, I'm not getting 720 on one day in offense, unfortunately. Hugging a direction is absolutely OP, by the way, yeah. Especially if you need to go deep into a facility. If I hugged more, I would get lost less. Okay, well, we got halfway there. So if you're gonna go into a network, hug one wall. So you can either hug the left wall or the right wall, and just keep following that. Don't let other tiles distract you and make you deviate. So let's say you hug the left wall to go deeper. If you want to make your way back to the entrance, you just hug right all the way back, and you'll never get lost that way. There's like a small handful of tiles where that doesn't work, but it works like 90% of the time, so it's still worth doing. What's my go-to non-lethal game right now? My go-to non-lethal game is Forsaken Frontiers, and will be my main game when it releases on October 21st. But since it's not out right now, since the playtest is over, my other non-lethal game is Dead by Daylight, which I've also been uploading on YouTube. I considered doing a Dead by Daylight killer session after this, but this has gone a lot longer than I thought. Or I'm out of I have a lot less energy than I thought, so I think I'm gonna call it there. We're at least gonna get the stats of the run. But Dead by Daylight for sure. I've been playing a lot of it, like off stream. Finally streamed one session yesterday. I've been uploading just daily highlight videos of the sessions, of the off stream sessions. It's been fun. $3:50 a.m. Half asleep watching off from the beginning of the stream. Well, I'm just scared the shit out of me. I haven't set an alarm to wake up in a long time. That's kind of been nice. I don't miss waking up to alarms. Only time I've gotten lost while hugging is when I get jump scared and do a jump spin. True. Like when your hugging strat gets disrupted by an enemy, you know. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of where you're supposed to go next. DVD is good for the same reason Bethesda games are. Oops, no balance. Yeah, I think going for balance in Dead by Daylight is kind of an losing battle no matter what. I don't think anyone's gonna be happy with whatever balancing acts you do overall. But that's not gonna stop me from having fun with it. I've read some YouTube comments about people treating Dead by Daylight like a party game rather than a serious one, and I think that's a good way to go about it. I do like the skill expression in Dead by Daylight, though. There's like, between the funny okay, well, here's the stats. Oh, well, my camera covers the stats. Oh, well, get rolled. You know, it's really fun being able to competently loop a killer. Actually, that's like my most favorite part of skill expression, really. More so than being a good killer. But I'm gonna be doing a lot of killer streams. I think, because I do a lot of Survivor off stream with friends, and I think killer will be more fun for a stream perspective. I'll do some Survivor streams also, but we'll see where it goes. I'm gonna play it by ear. First off, I have to do the lethal company. I have to fulfill my lethal company obligations, and then whatever energy I have left will go to everything else. I do want to get all of my killers to Prestige 1, first Prestige, and I think I'm just gonna play each killer in order or something to get there, instead of playing one killer and then putting blood points in another one. I'd rather just kind of play all of them a little bit. Add more crazy shit to counter crazy shit because it's more fun. Yeah. They did the next update is going to have a lot of crazy rebalancing stuff, and I'm excited to see what that does for the game. Obviously people are still going to find a different meta in a new meta game, but I've never been one to shy away from meta or be turned off by people playing meta. It's actually more fun to overcome meta with non-meta stuff. But yeah, any killer you're looking forward to? I mean, it was fun learning Unreal. I'm actually looking forward to the very first one. I really like playing Trapper. People say Trapper sucks or whatever. That's never stopped me from enjoying playing it. I really like putting down traps and having people run into them. It's really funny to me. Other than that, I don't really know. I'm looking forward to playing Bubba again. Unreal's been fun, but I'm starting to see why it would be fun to play other killers too. I'm just looking forward to playing all of them and seeing how well we do. And eventually having everyone prestige and having all perks unlocked on every killer. It's gonna be a long grind. But that's one of the grinds where if I'm not making Dead by Daylight content, then then what am I doing? Get good at each of them at the same time. Yeah. Also, it's kind of better, like if you're learning killer, it's better to spread out your killer experience across different killers, because each killer has a separate MMR. So if I get really good at one killer and I just get an insane MMR with that killer, that kind of it does kind of bleed over to your other ones. So if I go to a killer that I might not be good at, I'm probably just gonna get rolled all the time because I got such a high MMR on my one good killer. Obviously, I'll probably do really well, or I'd be better off than someone just starting off on that new one because I have all that experience on a different killer. But I mean, if you're just starting off, just learning killer, it's probably good to vary up your killer thing and get the most experience against not as good people and just get really comfortable in the role before starting to get really good at it. But anyway, I think that's gonna be it for the stream. We did our V40 speedrun. We did our offense only high quota attempt. We'll probably come back to it, but we're most likely just gonna move on. And we'll be back tomorrow most likely with more Lethal Company and maybe more stuff after. But again, gonna try to do two Lethal Company themes per stream. So yeah. And we'll keep that up until October 21st, and when Forsaken Frontiers is completely out, we'll see where we go from there.